Or good morning. I just got up. I was doing some chores earlier, so I went to bed early and got up. But guess what? I'm watching The Wizard of Oz, the original one, in 1939 with Judy Garland, and it is so good. How you guys doing tonight? Come on in, talk to me, talk to me. I really want to see you. Can I talk to you? Hey, I really want to know you. It is so good. I love this movie. It's one of my favorite movies. How you guys doing? Come on in. I see you there. Thank you for visiting. I'm watching TV late tonight or early this morning. And I have The Wizard of Oz on with Judy Garland. And it is so cool. It's got a little color to it, but it was really in black and white in 39 when they made it. But it's so cute. And the one who played the Scarecrow is just as cute as a button. His name is Ray something or other. And they all work on the farm, with her and Yim. It's so cool, guys. Something positive to watch at night. It's really good. Nobody's got time for her. She's like in the way while they're doing their chores and stuff. You guys saw the movie before. What a good movie. See, we don't have good TV like this anymore, guys. You know it. I know times have changed since that time, but where's the good TV for our children? That's what the problem is. I love this, and I'm an old lady, and I still love it. There's the guy who plays the lion. It is so good, guys. Hello, come on in. I know it's early, early morning. Come on in. Good morning to you. And they're taking her out of the pig pen where she fell into it. It is cool. It is so cool. Hi, guys. I would turn it on for you guys to watch it with me or turn it up so you can hear it, but we don't want to have copyright stuff going on. But it's so cute. Did you know that the man who played in, what's his name? Beverly Hillbillies used to be, hello, how are you? Let's see. I want to say Lunaverse de Milan. I'm mispronouncing that badly, I know, but I'm so sorry. How are you tonight? I was going to say the man who played in Beverly Hillbillies, the tall guy. Jed, the one who played, the tall guy. Older man. He was elected to play the Scarecrow in this movie at first, but he did not. Hi, James. He did not accept it because I don't know what happened. They chose this other guy to play it. But he was the first one that accepted. I forget his name, but he's a very good dancer. And one of my sister's boyfriends, older guy, told me that he was a very good dancer. They knew he was a good dancer. And that he could have played the part beautifully. I didn't know he was a dancer at all. But how you guys doing tonight? I'm watching The Wizard of Oz, guys, of 1939. And it's 1 something in the morning. And it is so very good and refreshing. And I'm just saying, our children, there's no good TV anymore. Really, it's not. This is the thing our children should be watching. They're not. They're on the phone, texting and, people and talking about God knows what, but nothing fresh and pure. You know what I'm saying? It's 12:20 there. Okay. So you guys are an hour behind us. And where are you calling from? I'm speaking to you from Detroit, Michigan. So where are you, James? Where are you, Milan? I'm going to call you Milan. I don't want to mess up your name. Thank you guys for coming in today. Now she's singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And they got little Toto there. It's too cute. Grand Lake, Oklahoma. Okay. Cool. Oklahoma. Warm. Really warm there? You're funny and insightful. Cool. Hi, funny and insightful. I'm curious insights, as you know. Go ahead and subscribe to me, and I'll do the same right back to you. I want to see your videos. Okay? In fact, everybody who's on, please subscribe and give me some love. Thank you. Thank you so much. You're getting cooler now? Yeah, it was really hot here too. But it's cooling off now. Pretty soon we're going to be looking at winter. You know how winter is in Michigan. Yeah. Horrible. But now that I'm retired, I won't be out there in the mainstream of it, you know? I'll be able to pick and choose the days I want to go out unless it's an emergency. So that's a good thing. Never been to Michigan? Okay. We have a nice little state here. It's nice. Funny and insightful. I love that name. I retired from state government work. I go to random chats and try to have insightful conversation. Okay. Alrighty. That makes sense. I'm basically doing similar to that. Having insightful conversation and curious ones. And trying to uplift and talk to my people and my viewers. And love on them. And you're just here, Kyler. James Kyler. That's okay. You're here, and I'm glad to see you. You were the clock of the machine that makes... Okay, did you take it away? Why did you take it away? Funny and insightful. I didn't get a chance to read it yet. Okay, but I'm glad you're here, James. I'm glad you're here, funny and insightful. And like I said, I'm just sitting here watching The Wizard of Oz and talking with you guys. What was your day like today, James? Yes, I was the cog in the big machine that made it all possible. Absolutely. Thank you for putting that back on there. That's a very good point. I love my job, too. Sometimes I delete messages when they have grammatical errors. Maybe I should do that. But, I'm thinking so fast, and, we think much faster than we can type in. So by the time I think about doing that, I've already sent it. But that's a good idea. I think I will read it over and kind of, if I think it's something wrong, I'll take it off and then put it back on. I'm learning so much, funny. I really am. I just started doing this in January. And so now it'll be a year from this January. So I'm hoping to be better at it. I'm learning. I'm a bit older than all of you, I'm sure. But I'm learning a lot of things being on here. Now I know why those messages are retracted like that. What's happening with it. Thank you for telling me. We do. Sometimes I also talk slower than I think. And jumble. Yeah, me too. All the time. All the time. But we just got to slow down. So we have something in common. We have to slow down and just be careful. Just talk, just let it flow. That's what I feel. That's my problem. I'm looking at this phone and I'm thinking, oh, I'm making so many errors. I'm going to, bore people. I'm going to, not be interesting enough to talk to. And I'm thinking all that while I'm talking, and it messes me all up. So that's just me. But yeah, I think we have to slow down. But you're doing wonderful. You're doing just great. I love your name. So we have that in common, that insightfulness. What they say, you're not, oh, you're just wise. Yes, I'd like to think that. I'm getting wiser and wiser every day while those years keep ticking. Tick, 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 tick. They keep ticking, funny. They do. But I'm grateful to be here. I am. So grateful to be here. Please subscribe to me, and I'll do the very same to you. I'd like to hear from you more and more. I love your personality. I do. And your channel name, of course. It is cool. Can I ask why you use that name? Funny and insightful. How did you come up with that name? James, I'm right here, darling. I don't mean to leave you out of the conversation. Speak up, baby. Get in where you fit in, babe. Get in where you fit in. 90% of the things we think we don't speak. And then we filter what we want. How did I put that? We think. Then we filter what we want to speak. Yeah. So it's a little tricky. Yeah, I guess it is. I guess it is. I guess it is. I thank you for coming on my live. And like I said, I love your name. Are you on a lot, funny and insightful? So I don't see. I've never seen your name before on here. I'm looking. Let's see. James, are you still there, sweetheart? Mylan, the universe de Mylan, are you still there? Thank you guys for coming in to visit me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for your love. Let's see, because in real life, I try to be funny and insightful. Sometimes we don't need to be rude or belligerent. My idea is to be funny. We can share a laugh and be insightful so that we can think. It's just you and me, I guess. Yep, and that's fine. And that's just fine, funny. I like how you say just what's on your mind. You kind of just put it out there. That's a good thing. Yes, and you don't need to be rude and belligerent. That's right. And so many of them out here are that, just that, rude and belligerent, trolling around, just being disrespectful. And if you get to a channel you don't like, just keep going. That's what your fingers are for, right? Let them do the walking. Just slide them on, slide them on. Why do you get on and get crazy? Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense, does it? But I agree with you. Come on in, guys. Come on in when you come by, when you pass by. Stick your head in and say, hi, hi, curious. Stick your head in and say hi. And that's the problem in the YouTube chat. Most of them are rude because there's no accountability, none whatsoever, no. To get on and say and do anything. And I'm surprised they're allowed to do that. If I'm playing music behind me talking to you guys, I get what do you call that? A error thing, a little error, a yellow little thing saying copyright. I'm like, what's happening? But people get on here and they cuss people out. They say some horrible things. You know what I'm saying? Just really terrible. And they just keep rolling. So I don't understand that. Like I said, I have so much more to learn. People tend to be rude and disrespectful when they know they can't get punched in the face. Right, right. That's when they can be safe. That's right. They'll do it in a minute. They will do it in a minute. Funny, you are so right about that. Come on in, guys. I see two, and then it went away. I see two, and then it went away. How often are you on, Funny? I like that you always have you've had more than one word to say in a chat at a time. That's pretty cool. You're a very good communicator. I'm going to be like you one day. I do go through and scroll, and I at least like everybody I stop at. I at least like them if I don't want to subscribe. So I know that's everybody's choice. But most of the time I will subscribe. It's nothing, it doesn't cost to subscribe. But I will always like, because that helps their algorithm. And what you give, you get. Is that right? Got to be a friend to get a friend. So yeah, they're very rude and disrespectful. Very much so. Yes, we are in those times where we could use all the humor we could get, right? And the insight. Absolutely. We can use that. We can certainly use that. And I'm looking at the tornado taking over in the movie. You know how it does in the Wizard of Oz? And she's got a little dog in the room. And now the window knocked her out. She's laying on the bed. Now she's going to see the witch going by. The witch is so funny in this movie. The house is flying all around. Yeah. All right, so that's how I derived my name. I appreciate you offering subbing, but you don't have to because I use YouTube only for comments. Okay. All right, sweetheart. I got you. Well, that's too bad. Will you come visit me sometimes? Please feel free just to stick your head in any time. Okay? Because I love your voice and your personality. I think you're great. I think you are great. And you should have a channel talking. If I enjoy talking to you, others will too. Believe me. Not to tell you what you should do, darling, but you know. You have a wonderful name that you have there, and your conversation is really neat. Okay. Were you in a public facing role? Yes, ma'am. Yes. And I loved it. 34 years I worked there. So I'll give you some idea of how old I am. Mm-hmm. Okay, now the house is getting ready to drop down. And it's going to have, that's when she's going to be in the land of Oz, right? Come on in. I see 10 people. I want to see you. I want to see you. Can I talk to you? Hey, you must have interacted with thousands of people. Yes, I did. And I met a lot of people that I enjoyed conversating with and helping. You know, the thing about government service is, what do I want to say about government service? A lot of people complain about it, of course. And nothing's perfect. You know, no system is. But you can help people beyond what you know, what you realize. And having the opportunity to do that was very uplifting for me. I was very happy to do that. It was very satisfying for me. Yes, I was able to help them and make them happy. And it made me happy to make them happy. That's what I'm saying to you. And it was just so cool to help them with just the smallest things that we had the power to do. You know, people in my job, my coworkers and I. But many of them treat the job like, if I do you a favor, then this is doing you a favor, this service that I'm giving you. When it's not. Because if we didn't have the favors to give out, we wouldn't have the job, right? That's how I looked at that job. And I worked to make people eligible instead of working to make them ineligible. When I was trained there in 1989, my supervisor taught me to make them eligible as best you can. If you can't go that route, go this route. If you can't go this, if you can't go in the front door, go in the back door. Find out a way with talking to them and getting the circumstances of their life, how you can make them eligible, right? Was the help having an immediate impact on their life, or was it long-term lasting impact? Well, it can be both. The first thing we want to do is help them immediately, to impact them immediately. But depending on how you deal with them and what you're helping them with can cause their life to change and have a long-lasting effect on them, right? Impact. Okay, Chico Wanby. Hi, how are you? Thank you for coming in today. Please leave me a subscription, if you will, if you may. Yes, but funny, that's what happens. You can have a long impact on them, a lasting one, when you really engage with them and really help them. Because a lot of these people are people who are somewhat illiterate, and they can't even hardly read the application, let alone follow the steps in it. You know what I'm saying? So they need help filling the application out. So when you help them do that and you're patient with them, just don't mail them some papers and say, fill these out and turn them back. Because if they can't read, they're not going to write on there, I can't read and send it back. They're just not going to send it back. So they don't get the help. So all of this aid and assistance we're supposed to be giving people, we're not able to do it because we can't communicate with the people. Because most of them can't even read the application to fill it out, right? Were you on a road that needed to remedy a problem? Yes, we needed to remedy lots of problems. I was on a road where we what do I want to say? My job was to, um, why am I drawing a blank? Determine assistance programs for people. Medicaid, food stamps, cash assistance, child care, that kind of thing. SER, helping with gas bill and light bill. That's what my job was. And I couldn't wait to do it. I hated to deny people. I hated it. Sometimes even when I had to deny them because that was the rule or that was what we had to go by, the rubric or whatever, I would go back and find a way to make them eligible. Call them up and tell them, if you do this, you can reapply. And I'll get your application and we'll get you going. Or if you do that, or if you do this. Find a way to get them in, because once you approve somebody for certain programs, it's not touched for a whole year, right? So for instance, if you want to get, I'm just going to say a program. I won't say specifically what it is. I don't want to get myself in trouble here. But some programs, once you approve them, you can't close them down for a year. I would make sure my people, the ones I could approve, I made sure I approved them, got them in there for that year. And then next year they'd be reevaluated to see if they're still eligible. But meanwhile, they got a year of benefits to use. You see, that's working to make somebody eligible. Now, what happens when we don't make them eligible? When we don't make them eligible, you're denying a lot of people, right, Funny? So that money that you denied these people with has already been allotted in the government in Lansing to pay people who need it, to give them people this money, this assistance. It's just sitting there. And at the end of the year, we lose a lot of the funding because we didn't help enough people. So it's to our advantage to help them, you see? So I made sure I did that, and I love doing it. Yes, I like to be kind, dear. Thank you for the compliment. Yes, yes. We have to make sure the benefit reaches them. You know what I'm saying? And I could say, and many could say, well, you did that selfishly because that kept you having a job. Yes, it did. But that's not why I did it. I did it because I could see somebody's life changed. I could see them getting their medical bills paid. I see them getting some food stamps. I see them getting help with their children, with daycare. You know what I'm saying? Even if they couldn't read to fill the application out, I would have them come in and do it before me. I had that option. So I was a little slower than most workers because I would have them come in to see me. So I could do it right in front of them. Then I'd give them a copy of the finished application. So when they did it next year, when it was eligibility time again, they would know just what to write down and where to sign and send them back in. So that to me is helping people to help themselves, right? And I really did love that job. I did. But I worked a long time. I got the wrong coworkers and supervisors over me. And I just couldn't keep, it was a struggle at the end. Because when it gets time for you to retire, they remind you of that constantly. They remind you, oh, you can retire. And they kept doing that to me and then it was move me around to different offices. Then they got me in a job that was more physical than I was able to do. And so I went ahead and get my retirement and came out. But the job itself, I absolutely loved. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Flutter can cause a storm. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. But you know what the saving grace was? God sees it all. I don't know if you're a believer, funny, but I got to tell you, I am definitely a believer in Jesus Christ. And he sees everything I do and my motive for doing it. You know what I'm saying? He sees that. So when I know he sees it, I've done my job. Right? I've done my job. So that's the way I look at it. But now I'm retired and I'm finding other things to do here at home. And one of them, is this YouTube, which I'm trying to understand and get all the ins and outs about. But I'm enjoying it so far. Okay. Yep, I'm spiritual too, and not necessarily religious. Yes, I understand that. I understand that very well. I give him all the credit. I do. For anything I do that's of substance. Because I'm probably what you would call a fanatical person when it comes to Jesus. So I don't apologize for it, but I'm just saying. But yes, you can be spiritual, and it's really the right thing to be religious. Anybody can be religious. You can be religious about drinking too much pop, or religious about how you feel about shopping in grocery stores. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I get you. I get you on that. But I wanted you to have a channel. I really do. I really do. I've learned some things from you since we've been talking. I really have. And I'm not ashamed to say that. I really have. So I thank you so much. Chico, speak up, sweetheart. Let's hear you. Are you still there? No, I see you're not. Hopefully you'll come back. I see I've got a few likes, so maybe people liked on the way out. I'm glad to hear that or see that. Yeah, glad to see that. Yes, yes. Our actions do have consequences, good ones or bad ones. All of our actions have consequences. I agree with that. And I believe that all of us have a purpose and that we should all impact people. We should all have positivity. We should all give to someone or something, some cause. That we're all purposeful here. We're not just here floating around waiting to not exist anymore. That's what I believe. hmm Now you say you just get on to speak to people, funny, but you gotta get a channel. Why won't you? Why won't you? You should. You really should. hmm It does make sense. It does. That's where you draw your morality from. Okay. Yeah. I just have a feeling you have more to offer than you think. You have more to offer than you think, sweetheart. You really do. I hear a positiveness in your comments and a willingness to be kind and that you're very purposeful. That's what the world gets it wrong too. They don't listen enough these days. If we could just listen to one another. But yeah, I think so. It would be easier. But people don't have time for that. They're in a rush. Um, they're just in a flurry, in a rush to go where I don't know. But this is what they are. Nothing's important to them, but whatever is important to them. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they focus on. And the rest of it, they just let it go by the wayside. I like to enjoy every experience. Even the bad ones, I look back and say, no, Lord, what was this about? What was I supposed to learn in this? Bring it to my remembrance when I need to know this lesson. What's going on? I think nothing is by coincidence. I don't believe that. I believe everything's purposeful. Everything. For some time and some, in our life somewhere. So I do like listening, but I also like talking. And I'm going to tell you why. Because in the past, when I was younger, I didn't talk a lot at all. My mom and my family would always say, you would never know I was in a room unless you looked and saw me. Because I was so quiet. Very, very quiet. And it was just easier for me. I felt like I was just, I don't know how I felt, but I was quiet. So, but I realized I was shy, I guess you would say, and just kind of felt like I was more of a listener, of course, and a watcher than speaking. So everybody would always want to know where I am, and I'd be somewhere close, but I'm just not talking. But when I got to be older and I got grown up, especially when I had my son, which I have one child. Hi, April. How are you? I began to talk. And because I am such a, I guess, an introverted kind of a person, I realized now you got a son, now you got a child, you got to speak up. You're his protector. I was a single mom, so I'm his protector. I got to deal with him. I cannot be quiet. So then that's when I started talking a lot, talking. And I just, the more he grew up and the more things I had to deal with and handle and be a part of in his life, I had to use my voice. I had to talk with my son. Okay, so his school, everybody knew me at school. At all the outings, we went to basketball, baseball, swimming, wherever we went, I was there. I got to talk. I got to be there for my son. So that started me to talking, you know? And then I guess, never stopped after that. April, how are you tonight or this morning? How are you doing? Thank you for coming in to visit me. You still there, Funny? Funny and insightful. I love that name. I just love it. Mm-hmm. No, I was watching, April, I'm watching, The Wizard of Oz. The old one with Judy Garland and Buddy Epson. That's who I was trying to think of his name. Buddy Epson. You still here? You listening? Okay, go ahead and listen, baby. Go ahead and listen. Because the curious one will keep talking and talking. And hopefully I'm not talking too much, but I'm just talking about the movie. Every once in a while I look and see you guys, and I'm so thrilled you're in here talking to me. Please like and subscribe if you're here new and you like our conversation. Thank you if you do. Anyway, she's walking out. She's getting ready to meet the scarecrow. And boy, is he cute. And how he just bounces upon his little self. He just bouncing around. You know what I'm saying? He's pointing one way. He's going to point the other. And she's a beautiful girl. She's beautiful. And there's little Toto. He's so cute. I love this. Now, my son is 33 years old. And he is like, Ma, I can't believe you're watching this. This is, how many times have you watched this? I'm watching it because I love it. That's why I'm watching it. And he's like, Mom, I can't get him to watch my favorite program of all. Funny, my favorite program of all, you wouldn't believe it. The Waltons. John Boy, his mom, his dad, his grandma, his grandpa, and his sisters and brothers. That's my favorite, baby. It doesn't get any better than that. I love John Boy. So in the interaction with people, was there a moment you knew that what you do is worth it because it was absolutely positive and you realized you changed? Yes, I want to tell you a story about that if I can. Let me get the details together and I'm actually turn off this movie for a minute so I can talk to you about it. Now, yes, let me tell you, that's a good question, Bunny. I was in the booth one time at work. This must have been, a good 10 years before I retired. And we had our desk and everything back in the office part, but we would have to go outside to see, to interview the clients. So outside the booth, our booths. So I would go outside and there would be a lot of booths where we just interview in. And so I'm sitting out there and I'm interviewing my client, right? And thank you, sweetheart. I'm interviewing my client and I'm talking to her about her life. She's crying. Something's happened really drastic. I don't remember what it was, but she's crying and having a hard day and talking. So I started helping her fill out her application because she was applying for whatever it was. I don't know. And she was like, oh, they did. I think she was getting evicted or something like that. And so I was telling her, just calm down. I need you to calm down so we can get the application done. We got to do step by step because we got to get this done. That's important. And so she's like, okay. And she just kept on crying and crying. So I was just talking to her about her life and how it could be better. And just every time she would go negative on me, I would go positive, something with her. And she would go negative and I would say something funny, like you might do, funny. And I would say something. And then she would kind of smile through her tears. And she was just, we were just having this conversation. Meanwhile, I'm just getting her stuff done. Anyway, when I got through her paperwork, we got her all situated, got her gas and lights cut back on. And I think she was being evicted. So we called the landlord and got that information together and got him a check going to him. And then she started to feel a little bit better. Okay. And so then after we did that, I told her to go home and do whatever I had her do, some instruction I had her do. And so she said, okay, well, I'll talk to you next week. I said, no, come and see me tomorrow. I'll be here. Bring me the paperwork. And then we will complete everything, get it all set. But meanwhile, your food stamps are going to be on tomorrow. I said, you're going to be all right. And she just looked at me. She just smiled and hugged my neck. Now, that was that interaction with her and I. The lady next to me in the other booth, she just sitting there waiting for her worker to come out. And so looked at her and I said, is your worker out yet to see you? Has she been out here to see you? She goes, no, she haven't been out here. She said, can I talk to you for a minute? I was like, yes, ma'am. I was thinking I got to go back to my desk and finish what I'm doing. But I gave her a second. She said, I wish you could be my worker. She said, what I heard you say to her was so wonderful. It was so positive. And she was crying. She was crying herself, she was crying funny. And she was going, I wish you would be my worker. She said, because my worker, I can't talk to her at all, let alone her have a conversation like that with me. I said, I'm sorry. They assign workers a certain way, sweetheart, but you could ask for another worker and you might end up with somebody else that you like that's better that you can talk to. I said, but thank you so much. I said, just be blessed. It's going to be okay. And I left her and went on back. So that's why I know what I was doing was impactful. Not just to my own clients, but to ones nearby. You know what I'm saying? And that made me so happy. So I know my Lord was happy with me too. So that's why I like that job. The interaction like that. I loved it. I love that interaction. The paperwork can be overwhelming because you got hundreds of cases. We each have maybe 700 or so cases. And you can't look at that many people. Even in a year's time, that's just too many people to concentrate on and really delve into what they need and really help them personally. So the system's set up that you just get so many clients, you just work those clients, and that's what you do. Well, some of them are more needy than others, right? Some just need a little talk to or a little something. Some of them need a lot of help, like the ones who are getting the medical assistance. They're going to send the thing for getting the medical assistance. We send out 4 or 5 pieces of paper to the client, okay? And they have to fill all this paperwork out and send it back. Well, if it never comes back, that's a denial. So a lot of the workers feel like denied, denied, denied. My thing is this: these people are going to be calling back and going to be reapplying. So you might as well just go through what you need to go through to get them approved, or at least to process them, because they're going to come back. So since you have 700 cases, excuse me, talking so fast, you're going to have maybe 950 because you denied the other ones too quickly. You didn't give them a chance. You know what I'm saying? They need help filling that application out. That's why they're in here. They're not just indigent because they don't have things. They're indigent upstairs too. They need some help. And that's why we have a job. But you can't get people to understand that. You can't. The higher ups, they just understand. You have so much time to do so many cases. Bam, 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 bam. Hey, Nala, how are you, sweetheart? You here? It's good to have you here. But you see what I'm saying, funny? That's what's happening. So I just got to say, I loved my job. I did it the best I could. And now I'm retired. I'm loving that. And I'm also a math tutor. I do that. I'm going to get back into it more. I started in 2015 before I left my other job. I was doing it like part-time. But I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to do it again because people need to know basic math. They can't go further in math, geometry, trigonometry, up there. They can't do those. And a lot of nurses need that kind of math, and they can't do it because they can't get past the basics. I'm finding that people, so I wrote a math program, funny, that goes back to the elementary math, way back. And it goes through that, basic math, to geometry, to algebra, beginning geometry, beginning algebra, and beginning statistics. So that people can find their way, the basics. And I think I'm patient enough. God has given me enough patience in my heart to, when they need to ask over and over again, they're going to get good responses and compassion until they learn. I want to get a staff of people who are compassionate and like I am, who will go through with these people until they learn one concept at a time. Yes, I love math too. One concept at a time, math, funny, because you're not going to learn algebra if you don't know fractions, if you don't know percentages, if you don't know what an equal sign is, or less than or equal to. You're not going to be able to learn algebra or geometry. You see what I'm saying? So, hey Nala, I see you, baby. And so that's what I'm talking about. We got to reach them from the bottom at the basics and let them go forth. So that's my dream now, is to establish that better. I'm looking actually for a place to do it because I don't want to really do it in the library like I was doing it before. But if I have to, I'll have to. Just go ahead and reserve a room there, some space, and do it there. But they don't really like you to do it there. And I can't do it for free. I have to charge. But I try to charge according to what the person is making. Like if somebody didn't have a lot of money, I don't want to charge them the same as I would somebody else. And I wasn't charging a lot, but I was charging for the what do you call it? My basic assessment test to see where they are, to where they stood, and then we determine where they go from there. Then we keep a record of how they're improving every time we test them again. Every time I test them again, I keep a record of how they're improving, And then I share it with them. We have a little meeting. And then when they see they're making progress, Bunny, then it's like, oh my gosh, I can do this. I thought I couldn't, but I can. Glory to God. You see what I'm saying? He gave me that so long ago. So long ago. So I enjoy doing that. And I think I will enjoy it during my retirement now. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be getting into. And I'll be somehow putting it here so that you guys know where I am and how to contact me if you have other ones or if yourself need help with that. And funny, you know what? You love math so much like I do. You might want to come and work with me, honey. You might want to do that, okay? Because I can tell that you love math. Look at your name. Your name is just like mine, okay? So we got this. But it's a wonderful thing to do for people because when they find out they can do that, Bunny, then they realize I can do other things in my life that I didn't think I could do. You see what I'm saying? I want to try this, but I don't know if I can. But when you get the confidence to do something that you never could do, it gives you confidence to do other things. And I love that idea. And I've seen the light come on with some of these people. And it just is so refreshing. I'm telling you, it gives you such pleasure to know that somebody is getting it. Because when you're in a math class and you don't understand, and not just math, but any subject, I just happen to like math, but you're in a class and you don't get it. You got 30 people in here. You got 5 or 6 people at least who don't have any idea what's going on. Right? That's right. I'm biased at its score. That's right. So they don't know what's going on. They're just sitting in there hoping to get a D, something just to pass and get that credit, right? They have no idea what's happening. The instructor doesn't have time to go back to the beginning with them when 20 people are ahead and keeping up, and these other 5 or 6 can't make it. So they're wasting their time. So that's where I come in. And I go back to the basics with these 6 or 5 people. And we start from here and we build on each concept. Once I know you can add and subtract, then let's look and see how you can divide and do division and multiplication. Let's look and see if you can do percentages. Let's look and see if you can do a circle and what's all involved in that. Circumference, radius, all of that. Let's see if you can do these things. Let's see if you can learn some math terms. And I told them, when you're going to go for your GED, and most of them are the ones I was studying with, you're not going to have everything right, just enough to pass that GED. Right? So say the math section, they've got 20 questions in there. We can help you to get to at least 12 of them right. That's going to let you pass that. I remember my brother was going for his GED, and he lives in Missouri. And I told him, I said, you know what? I'm going to help you, so let's do this. He said, look, sis, I can't do it because I passed every section except the math. He said, I've taken it 4 times, but I can't pass the math section. I said, you got to be kidding me. And I explained to him, you don't need to get everyone right. Just go through and do the ones you know you can do and leave the others until you finish the rest of the test and then go back to see the other few you didn't do. And then you can just kind of look around and just see. But don't spend all your time on the math ones. Then you can't get the rest of it done. I was trying to tell him that about that. He was like, I know, but I just can't. I don't think he ever got it. Last time I talked to him, he didn't get it because he just couldn't get past the math part. Then there were other people who I would run into that wanted to go into nursing or engineering. And everything was good for that, except they couldn't pass the math in the program. My sister, my oldest sister, she's gone to glory now, but, she wanted to go into RN. She was already a nurse's aide and a nurse's assistant, but she wanted to be an RN. So she took all these classes with all these big books. And I was looking at some of the books, and that medical terminology was really, really fascinating. But anyway, we were looking through the books, and I was telling her, we can do this. We can do it. She said, I know, but the math, Kay, I can't do the math. I said, yes, you can. You can do this math. You can do it. But we never just really got into it. And when I was helping her son one time, she kind of intercepted. She wouldn't allow me to help him the way I needed to. because she thought I was being too rough. I wasn't being rough. I was trying to drill it into him like I do my son and my nephews. And they loved that I drilled into them their multiplication tables and this and that. Now they just read them off really quickly. And they learned to love math as they got older. But when I did it to my sister's son, my nephew, she thought I was being mean. And she was like, just forget it. He'll learn at school. Just forget it. I said, okay. I said, but I'm his auntie. You should let me help him. He didn't have a problem with it, but she did. She was very sensitive about how I was doing it. But I wasn't doing it bad, Funny, I promise. Now, are you doing okay? I'm glad you're here, sweetheart. How are you? I don't mean to ignore you, but Funny got me in this conversation about math. And I love math. But you know I love you too. I love all of you guys for coming in. Please go ahead and subscribe if you're in. I say 5 people. Please subscribe to Sister Girl. Let me know you love me. Oh, and about this unbiased score, listen to this, Funny. And all of you. In my program, I'm not going to be doing grades, ABC grades. I'm going to be doing percentages. So if we have 100 problems and you get a 67, next time maybe you'll get a 69. And I'm going to celebrate that grandly to my people. Next time you might get, that's okay, you stepped away for a moment. The next time you might get a 72. We're going to celebrate that 72. So you see where you started at and where you're coming to. So you're not going to, and you see where you started and see where you're going. You're not competing with Sister Girl who might be sitting next to you in the same class, in my class. You're competing only with yourself, so that you do better and better and better. And hopefully you're holding on to that. You're keeping that for the next level that we're going to go into and learn. That will need you to, know this other level beforehand, right? We gotta build on each level of mathematics to get you up there. But no need to apologize, darling. We have to step away sometimes. But I'm gonna end the stream very soon. It's just you got me excited, girl, about this math, okay? But yes, everybody, I'm just sitting here talking to you guys, loving it and watching The Wizard of Oz. It's no sound there, but I can tell you everything that's going on because I've seen it about 1,000,000 times. And but I gotta tell you, I enjoy talking to you guys as well. So come back and visit me, probably tomorrow night this time. I'm usually on here about 1 o'clock. I sleep a lot during the day when I'm not working or working on my project. So I get up 9, 10 o'clock, and then I'm up for a while. So I'll come back on and speak to you guys. Meanwhile, I've enjoyed your conversation, Funny, so much. Nala, I love you. You said you are alone. Why are you alone, sweetheart? Why are you sad? What's going on? Talk to Curious. Are you still there? Why are you sad, sweetheart? Don't be sad. Don't be sad, Nala. What is it? What's going on? You told me you were good when you first came on. And then you said you are alone. Is that because of your mom, dear? Okay. I don't see your response coming, but I'm going to say this to you, Nala, that I love you, and so does the Lord. Our Father in heaven loves you. Let me say a quick prayer for you in the name of Jesus. Father, I ask you to touch Nala today. Whatever's going on with her, bless her, Lord. Touch her heart, encourage her, let her know she's safe in your arms, that she doesn't need to worry. Bless her, Lord. Give her encouragement. Let her know that you love her. In the precious name of Jesus. Amen. Amen. You're back, Funny? Okay, darling. I'm going to probably end the live, but I'm going to put it on my in my list of videos where you guys can always go back and watch. But just know I've enjoyed this conversation so much. We're almost at 50 minutes now. But I've enjoyed you guys and the conversation. I really have. Funny, please think about getting your channel. Okay, you live in Ohio, so it's 2:05 here. Okay, yeah. Let's see what time it is here. It's about that here too. Yeah, because I'm in Michigan. We're not far away. Okay? But I'm going to stop the live. But I want you guys to know I've had a wonderful time. And we will talk again. Come back and see me, funny. I love you guys, all of you. Nala, have a good night. Feel better, baby. Feel better. Let's see who else. I think the other ones left me. If you're still here and you haven't subscribed, please do that. For Curious One. Thank you. Thank you so much. Chico, go ahead and subscribe, sweetheart, so you can watch all my videos. Okay, and they'll come to you like a ding, ding, ding. You'll say, there she is again. There she is. Go ahead and subscribe, sweetheart. James Kyler, if you're there, go ahead and subscribe, sweetheart. I love speaking with you all. In Grand Lake, Oklahoma. Grand Lake. Demylan. L Universe. Demylan, hello. If you're still there, please subscribe, sweetheart. All right, darling. I'm going to go ahead and get off of here, and hopefully we will talk again. I appreciate you too, funny. Appreciate you so much. You guys have a wonderful night. Good night. Bye-bye.